How about that? How about that? How about that? Everything we talk about, ill intent, violence, physicality, execution, the will to win. Just win, baby.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Ralf in the building, and welcome to this another episode of Straight Outta Nation, motherfuckers. Because this is a show, it's a podcast, 100% Raiders only. No Chargers, no Chiefs, no Broncos, just Raiders, baby. And right now we have a special guest right now because he's an up-and-coming podcaster, content creator, because he's a rookie, but he knows about the essence of the game. He embodies the whole Raider Nation. And right now, he's doing it trending on Instagram and every other social media. So I just wanted to tell you a perfect welcome to this Saturday night pre-game, because tomorrow we got some business to do about for Las Vegas Raiders versus Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's give it a warm welcome to the Mr. J Raider 505, directly from the Mountain State. So how's it going, J Raider 505? So welcome to Straight Outta Nation. So how you feeling?
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Captain. I'm glad to be here, man. I'm chopping at the bit for tomorrow. Literally about almost 24 hours from now, we'll be playing against the Steelers in Vegas. So I am very excited about this game. I have something personal on the line, so it's just more than the game itself. Usually, and this time I have a little bit of personal bet going on. So hopefully my Raiders come through tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Also, we're gonna check out the comments right now. So let's just see. Daniel Barry's in the building. Salute to you, Daniel Barry. Also, we got Tony Sheffer in the building. True Raider is in the building. They say, I haven't missed a game since 1989. So you're saying that I don't have the essence. Well, we just have a great essence to embody the whole Raider Nation, because no matter what happens, win or lose, Raider Nation till I die. Because it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Latino, Native, because we are bleeding civil and black nations. So right now it seems that we're just about to begin ball for all the stars right now. So let's kind of continue with the first topic, because after we just saw an injury report of Christian Wilkins is putting off an injury report. So there's one man who can really cover ball for that position, and his name is Nesta J. Silvera. because there's like a lot of more opportunities have been opened up for Las Vegas Raiders young defense linemen. Because without defensive tackle Christian Wilkins, that leaves like a big hole in the way for the middle. And there's one man, which is Nesta J. Silvera. I mean, the positive thing about for those Raider team, we have already seen players stepping off of the game of the previous games. Because Antonio Pierce told for the step, they have a good job in getting every player prepared like they always stayed started. Also, they gain confident. When they always give like opportunities, they will produce and they want to help to be successful. But right now, Nate Chelsea Barra is into the second year for the Raiders. As we take a look at the seventh round for the NFL draft. So I know the last year he became so much nervous because we also understand that all those guys because they're really here to step up to really front of the game. I mean, the defense will look like the whole very different, but it's gonna really expect it about from going in because this is gonna be like a really challenge for Las Vegas Raiders. And right now there is one person we need to take care about it, which is TJ Watt. TJ Watt, because we know that he's from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But between for the battle between Nessaje Sibera versus TJ Watt, I mean, that could be like really fun to watch because that would be like a great opportunity to say like get real NFL snaps, but also he will help with along with Max Crosby. That can be look at the blessing of this guys for the Raiders team. So how you feel about because after we just saw for the injury reports of Christian Wilkins, so how you be like between Tyree Wilson and Nesta Jesse Rivera gonna take cover to help Max Crosby defense?
I mean, having Christian Wilkins suffer that injury last Sunday was a huge blow to the defense, but other key players have to step up. It can't just be Max Crosby alone to carry the defense. Like you said, Tyree Wilson, we're still waiting on Tyree Wilson to really come out of his shell. I mean, a lot of people out there are talking about he's a bust. I don't know. I mean, he had a couple solid games, and hopefully he starts making an impact. But so far his performance has been solid. About this new guy Nestor. Hopefully he can come in and just play really solid defense. Make sure that we stop that run game because that honestly has been killing us the last few games. Honestly, since the beginning of the season, it's really been hurting us, and we haven't found an answer for it yet. So there's a lot of injuries going on. We're banged up, but this is the thing. So is the Steeler defense. So we're in luck. They have a few injuries. I took a look at their injury report earlier today, and they have some guys out. So it kind of balances the scales a bit. Yes, TJ Watt, he is a dynamic player. It's an interesting matchup. He's going to be playing across Max Crosby on the other end, on the defensive end for the Steelers. But he is also hurt. So he is on the injury list too. Now, he's going to play tomorrow, yes. But what kind of percentage TJ Watt are we going to see? Are we going to see a 50% TJ Watt? Or are we going to see a 70, 80% TJ Watt? That's the thing. How impactful is he going to be tomorrow? But obviously, our offensive line hasn't played too great. So hopefully we get that buttoned up and we play more solid tomorrow for that offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Also, there's a comment right here for Tony Shepard to say, wondering if Wilson gets some time at offensive tackle. Probably they're going to make it. Also, Tony Shepard to say another comment to say, team defense need much better tackling. I agree with that. But also there's like another player who's being like an important key along with the jury report of Christian Wilkins. Also, there's Adam Butler. Because they just see like an entire defense get a lot of pressure on the opposing quarterback. Also, they have someone alongside defensive Max Crosby that have proven they could really dominate for this game. I mean, that really hurts because Wilkins was a great leader of the Raiders defensive line, which is always already without Malcolm Coons, but it seems that they don't have very choice at all. Because if they wanted to really step it up to the game, I mean, there's three players. Tyree Wilson, Nessa J. Silvera, also there's Adam Butler, because it means that a great opportunity to see how really on balls or to get like the great leadership. I mean, they have no choice, but they had to really go to the next man up mentality again. That will improve like at a more young players, a lot of opportunities to prove themselves and get like at a lot of more experience. So they're gonna bring the whole pressure because that's what they're looking for. Because all that they can do or worry about are like doing for like the part, but it thinks that they couldn't put like the best footwork forward in the game because the team counts on everybody. I mean, Adam Butler and the Raiders defense, they have so much challenge to preparing two quarterbacks. And they're gonna carry up with like host of tough Pittsburgh Steelers offense, which is included not only for TJ Watt, but also there's Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. I mean, it's gonna be like very unique. But what they may have to go to prepare about it because they have it a lot of intensity. Because they had to identify we're gonna have to the best to prepare. So well, it seems that the Tyree Wilson, Nessa Jesse Rivera, and of course Adam Butler, it seems that they had to be like the next man up for that game, very crucial against Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah, that's something that AP has been preaching is that next man up mentality. I'm looking at the chat and Tony saying we need team defense, much better tackling, and AP did address that this week that we need to kind of go back to basics on the defense. It's a lot of that trying to punch the ball out shit, and yes, if you do it effectively, you will create a lot of turnovers. But on the downside, if these guys really protect the ball, you're gonna have a lot of missed tackles and a lot of yards that are being gained after the catch. And so that's what's going on. So honestly, we might need to kind of step away from that a little bit and really just focus on fundamental tackling and really stopping the run game on that defense because that's what's been hurting us. Going back to the last game with the Broncos, I mean, we had them pretty close, and then that second half it just killed us. They opened up on us, so and there was a lot of missed tackles in that game, so for sure.
Yeah, I mean exactly. I mean between for the defense of Las Vegas, right? Always struggling a lot because after we just lost against Denver Broncos, right now it seems that we had something to prove. We had something too much work at all. I know that Antonio Pierce is still like at a growing pains, but he's still like at a learning a lot. I mean, if you remember Dan Campbell with the Detroit Lions, he just started the season with only 3 wins, 13 losses, but it came like the blueprint that every former player in the NFL needs to get coached. But I think that Antonio Pierce needs to learn about more because I know he represents a lot of leadership, mentality, and great contribution for the Raider Nation. But he needs to get prepared a lot of more to get involved as a head coach because it's not very easy at all. Not very easy at all to confront like the front office, also for the defense players, also the quarterback, the wide receiver. I mean, everything must have to prepare for this get the best or the worst. But it seems that the aura, the aura on this one is pretty imagined right now. But it seems that between for Antonio Pierce and of course for the coaching staff, I mean, if they need to pair a lot of more, but it comes right now, it seems that we're under the weak states. So we're gonna to expect the unexpected. So if we had to try to work as a team with great mentality, put a lot of violence, because that's what we need to represent of that game against Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, we got to bring that physicality to the game. Tony was saying that, yeah, we do actually have Divine Diablo come back this week. He most likely will play tomorrow, unless something comes up. Mumford's coming back as well. Zamir's coming back, but, Zamir hasn't been playing that great, so take it or leave it. But I'm very excited about Divine Diablo really coming back, playing in our defense. He hasn't played all season. He's been out with, I think, an oblique injury. And so having him back is going to be humongous because we got Wilkins out, we got Epps out, we got other guys that are banged up. So having Diablo playing with Spillane in that linebacker position is going to be like pretty awesome. You're going to see, so hopefully, he's there to deliver on some big plays and really button up that defense that has been struggling a bit. And, we've been saying in the beginning of the year, it's an elite defense, but we fell off a little bit, so we just got to refine that momentum. Um, coming into this game with the Steelers. So, and then I think the biggest news, man, AOC starting tomorrow. That's crazy. What do you think about that?
Wow, I mean, the star's very crazy because after we just saw for like the few weeks, and I'm very good that you answered about for that question of Aiden O'Connor as a starter for the next week. I mean, if between for Aiden O'Connor, his mobility and the game starts, it turns like a very, very worried about it. But it
Hmm.
seems that they took like the right direction to get like the starter. I know the Garden Minshew between for this arm technique and of course his mobility, it's not very worth it along with Aiden O'Connor. But it seems that Aiden O'Connor seems that they have the right decision to put him like as a starter. And after all the drama of Devontae Adams about if it is going to be trade, but it seems that it became like a lot of distraction. But between for Aiden O'Connor regarding Minshew, if they have both battling for the game improvement, also for like the vision, the mobility, and of course the arm technique. I mean, Aiden O'Connor should be like a really going to the side to everything could happen like at a game changer. Because have you ever seen like at a really stats? I mean, if it could have really stayed because he's like more confident as the second standard, the quarterback number one. Because building like a real relationship with his teammates, I mean, he really helped him with the scout team. I mean, after 5 games and the offense not consistently putting drives together, I mean, they just wanted to cater like to really change and all because he was like one of the favorites to win like a full-time starting job, but eventually just lost the competition along with Gardner Minshew. But if they need to prepare like at a lots today, is very similar because when you do look at the scout team, you get a lot of reps because you want to do look at all the defense every day because they had to try to challenge. They had to try to challenge. I mean, not only they're gonna be improved up for the arm technique, but I have very confidence that between for the combination between Eden O'Connor and Devontae Adams, people will get really great results. Because no matter what happens, I mean, it's gonna be like a really epic whether it comes to like
Yeah.
much production. Also, we just see for another comment to say Tony Shepard. We should get a few guys back this week. Diablo Mumford, maybe Samir. Also, Tony Shepard to say game come down for the offensive line for us. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. Well, I think that Aiden O'Connor should be like a really starter since we had to go to the beginning. But after we just see like the mobility and the improving game for Gardner Minshew, it seems that it's not that very working along with the playbook of look Getsy. But when the trust find out, they say, hey, around for the week 6, we should start with Aiden O'Connor. There's no surprise in
Yeah.
there. Because if
Yeah.
they want to see like really improvement, if they want to see like an arm technique and production, they just wanted to let Aiden O'Connor as a starter to see how much they got a production along with the wide receivers and the running backs.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, like Tony was saying, yeah, it comes down to offensive line. You got to win the bat at the trenches. If we're not, pushing guys around, it's going to be a long day for us. We're not going to be able to really establish the run game, and so it's crucial that we're winning that battle at the trenches. Jackson Powers Johnson has been doing really good there. DJ Glaze as well. You got Colton Miller, and so the offensive line has been stepping up. They have to because now you got AOC in. He is not a mobile quarterback like Gardner Minshew. So he's going to have a really hard time if he doesn't have enough protection on there. But like I was saying on my podcast, the last episode was, you
Right?
know, first thing was if they pull Gardner Minshew, it's going to be in the second quarter of a game. And that happened. And then the other thing that happened is you never saw Gardner again. And you're not going to see Gardner again. He's going to be the backup for the rest of the year. It's going to be AOC from here on out. And though they haven't publicly said it, that's basically what that's the role that they're going to go ahead and push AOC into, because he's already, like AP said, he already had started 5 games. He played last year, so he's familiar with the system. and they like him. So they're going to stick with the guy that they know. Plus, you got Devontae, who really likes him, and they've been working together during this past offseason. And AOC didn't win that initially, the quarterback competition. And so they put Minshew in, and obviously we all gave him a shot, and that experiment didn't work out. So now here we are. We got AOC in. I saw him the last game in Denver. He looked all right. His rollout looked pretty good. But the key to success for AOC is going to be to make sure he releases that ball within 2 seconds or less. If he holds on to that ball, that's where the trouble comes in, because the pocket's going to collapse pretty quickly after that. So he needs to find his targets pretty early on. If the offensive line is able to go ahead and provide protection, then you can go ahead and take deep shots down the field. But it's going to be kind of tricky to do that if they're not all on the same page. And I think it's because the offensive line is trying to learn a new system that they haven't had to do before. I think they're running like a zone type offense. And so they're kind of a little bit confused about that. So I think hopefully it's starting to look better and better every game. But still, it's still shaky. You can see it at times. So, but I think in order for AOC to find success is making sure to release that ball pretty quickly. And then obviously you got Devontae, man. I don't know. What do you think? You think he's going to come back? I think he's going to come back. I think all this other stuff that happened on the side with the Jets and then the Saints with Derek Carr getting hurt the other day, kind of put things in perspective for Devontae. And now that they named AOC the starting quarterback, I don't know, man. I don't see Devontae going anywhere this season. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, between for the Devontae Adams, I mean, it kind of look at the very distraction about for the like case. I mean, they're really concerned about like what's going on with this one because they already told. I mean, he just left it because it all started with the off season before the 2023. I mean, things are not getting like really escalated because they're doing for like the coaching style, but how they made like the comments along for like the lines of any player to be like available for the right place. I mean, there was like a lot of rumors that became like very distracted. I mean, supposedly they're talking about it to smooth things over, but they might be played like in the last game, but it just found out that it was really upset. But since they removed it, they just claimed like they was a mistake. But I feel like if they wanted to get started about for the last season, I mean, if they had the playbook just like that, and it just wanted to feel like getting like a very interesting about like the attention. But after we just suffer like the whole drama, it seems that it's kind of like a very distraction because basically he just wants to play along with his college mates because if they want to give like the promise, because all they had to apply for Alco right there, but I like a diva right receiver. But he came to the Raiders to play this college quarterback, which is Derek Carr. After a career playing with the Hall of Famer, it makes sense that at that point he could make it like to want to play. But if they want to play with a lot of intensity, because that would make sense that he wants to go some anywhere because we're not that really soft when it comes to like an opinion. But if you got a guy who doesn't want to be there, who believes he's still valuable, and you make like it as some valuable back at the teams of the compensation, but if they want to realize that if he wants to be like a Raider, then welcome. Because right now it seems that once he came to the silver and black, there's no turning back. Because what happens, because do you remember about from Max Crosby? He deserves to be a Raider for life because he
wants to be a Raider.
Watching, yes. He
openly speaks that he wants to be a Raider. He wants to retire as a Raider. For him, there is no other team. So that was a sales pitch, man. That was a sales pitch that was given by McDaniels a couple of years ago, saying, "Hey, you want to come over to the Raiders? We'll set you up with your college quarterback." I mean, these guys are best friends. It's not just that. These guys train in the off season together. So for Devontae, it was like, well, yeah, man, of course. Like now I get to play with this guy full time. I get to train and play with him full time. Of course, why not? And so that was a sales pitch. That's really what brought him over to Vegas. And then all this other shit happened with the whole drama with McDummy last year, and then they set out Carr, and then there was that, and then next thing you know, Carr's off to New Orleans, and then what does he do? Right? He's like, well, I came for this guy. Now I'm in a contract. I can't just bail, and I want to play for the Raiders, but at some point he probably was like something changed. And so his perspective about like, do I really want to stay in this team? We're not really winning. We're not really performing. They're not really utilizing me. Maybe that got him thinking. Honestly, this whole thing could have started so many different ways. It's really kind of like a he said type of thing where Antonio Pierce liked this post. And so Devontae got questioned the next day and he didn't know really what to say. He got blindsided because he's like, I haven't talked to the guy. I don't know. And so all this other shit started coming out that the Raiders are shopping him around to see what they can get. So
Exactly.
I feel like he got put in an awkward position where he's looking bad. He's like, well, okay, if this is a case where they don't want me on the team, cool. Let me go and make it official and say I want to be traded. And I think that's the position where he got kind of put in. It was like, well, you know what? I'm Devontae Adams. I could go anywhere and succeed, or just about anywhere, right? And so that's where we're at now. And it is a total distraction, bro. And the Raiders, all the players have admitted it. It is a distraction. They try to do their best to focus on the games a week in and week out, but it's still there.
Exactly.
It's like on the headlines every day. So what do you do? And so now we're at this point where they might not even trade him, and he might stay and play out the season. I definitely see that happening. Yeah, I see them trading in the offseason for a higher draft pick. That is definitely a very viable situation where they go for a higher draft pick and we go higher in the sense. I mean, honestly, if this was the Raiders' mindset and they wanted to trade him away or he wanted out, something should have been said in the offseason. We could have went up really high in the draft order and could have garnered ourselves a really good quarterback. Maybe not a Jaden Daniels that everybody wanted, but maybe we could have gotten Penix Jr. That guy's
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
sitting. Yeah, he's sitting in the Falcons for the next 3 years behind Kirk Cousins, learning the system, and they want him to be their future quarterback. That could have been us. We could have utilized him right now. This guy could have been like playing and balling out now. But
There you go.
that
I mean, that
that's the
gets like
thing.
at a great point. Yep,
Yep.
that gets like at a great point. Also, we just wanted to say like a salute to Carlos on Twitter to say awesome show tonight. Salute us from Houston. Also, we got Tony Sheffers in the building. We just see now card is hurt and just for a loss. Not sure how it's gonna plays out because I gotta tell you for this one because before the draft, we just wanted to get him like involved to see who's gonna be like the available quarterback to see how the system's gonna be like breaking the code because every Raider fans they just wanted to need like between Bo Nitz from Oregon Ducks, but also they just want like Jaden Daniels, also Marvin Harrington Johnson. But it seems that Tom Telesco just brought like some young talent with monster mentality. Remember when they just drafted Brock Bowers? I was like at the first confused, but then
Yep.
he
Same.
seems like a very good monster because he always produced at the college football when it was in the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, that's absolutely insane. But of course, we just got Jackson Powers Johnson. But it seems that they're actually gonna break in for the code because Tom Telesco knows everything about because he just started like at the very work as a professionalist between for the Los Angeles Chargers as in the manager. But it seems that it took like a lot of things to get experience. But I know the strategy to say no quarterbacks for the first one. I say, oh, that's very weird. But have you ever
Yep.
seen like at a lot involved like between Kirk Cousins, also for Jaden Daniels? I mean, they just brought like a lot of right future, also like re-invocation for all less of the quarterback. So it seems that between for Eden O'Connor and Gardner Minshew, it seems that between for like the issue for like the quarterback, it seems that they need to prove like a lot of more at speed involving a lot
Mhm.
more to get reps.
Yep. I mean, I agree. We should have gotten a quarterback. I mean, we drafted Carter Bradley, and I think he comes from I think from like not North Carolina. I forgot North Alabama or something like that.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
he's okay. He's okay. He's decent. He had some reps during preseason, and at times he looked pretty good. Obviously, he's down in the totem pole of level as far as rookie quarterbacks concerned. But yeah, we could have gone out there, got a Bo Nix, could have got a JJ McCarthy. You know, maybe not Daniels. I mean, but we're all saying Daniels. I mean, I don't know. We weren't behind the scenes, obviously, so we don't know what was negotiated. I heard that there's teams that didn't want to trade, or maybe the trade wasn't good enough. But I'm pretty sure we could have gone more aggressive on that and be able to go ahead and get a quarterback. I mean, there was reports that we could have gotten C.J. Stroud the year before. McDaniels voted that down, and so we could have gotten Daniels. That didn't happen, but we didn't get anything. I mean,
yep,
we got Brock. Brock is amazing. I love Brock. I was the same
exactly.
way like you. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why didn't we get this guy? Like, why don't we get a fucking quarterback? This is what we needed. And so, but as I found out who Brock was, I started liking this kid. And then I saw him in preseason. Kid was just looking amazing. And then now, look at him now. This guy is just like killing it. He's just balling out. He got his first touchdown last Sunday. Um, so very excited about that. I believe going forward, we need to get Brock involved very throughout the game. If we're not getting Brock involved, he's not getting touches every other drive or every drive. It's not really You're not really going to open up that offense because he creates such a dynamic impact, and he starts the defense starts double teaming him. That's what you're going to see, and that's kind of what you want, especially with Devontae out. And that's what Devontae creates. He creates that distraction, and the offensive
Yeah,
scheme is where these guys are like double and triple teaming him because they're so afraid of his route running that they leave these other guys open. And the problem is that we're fucking overthrowing him or overthrowing them, and we're not able to, hit those guys wide open, down, 30 yards down the field, or they're hitting on the flat. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I was there on Sunday, man. Wide open Brock Bowers. I thought we had six right there, and it just sailed. And man,
yeah,
that's like that one
exactly.
hurt. That one hurt. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I just got from like another comment to say Tony Shepard say JPJ. Also, we got Tony
Yep.
Shepard. Wow. This is a show completely for the Raider Nation because we just get involved for like all die-hard fans, content creators. So I just wanted to tell you about like what is the importance about for like the Raider Nation? What defines the Raider Nation for you?
Um, what defines a Raider Nation for me is honestly the solidarity, the brother and the sister here that is out there. You can go to any city, almost, and you will find a Raider fan, and they'll show you nothing but love. I just came back from Denver, and everybody was really awesome out there. We got shown a lot of love by people, and we met a lot of people from different parts of the country. It's so crazy. So just having that. I mean, this is a giant support system for the Raiders. You got to think about it like that. And yes, we're very opinionated people, and we will express our thoughts and opinions very strongly if we don't like some shit, but also we'll go ahead and root for you if you're doing good as well. So I'm glad to be part of the Raider Nation. I'm out here in Albuquerque, and we're pretty strong out here as well, and we have to compete against the Broncos and then the Cowboys as well. But yeah, I like going into Vegas and being, along with the fellow Raider Nation people out there. And then same thing here. I could walk into a couple bars out here. We have a few bars that are Raider bars, so definitely got to show the love out to everybody part of the Raider Nation for sure.
Yep, I mean it's right. You got like the right answer because I know that I live in North Carolina since years ago, and I know that I'm from another country, which is Barquisimeto, Venezuela. But since 2021, I was getting involved as a content creator. But the team that I was really to embody about for like the nation, the loyalty, the respect, the hustle, and of course the tradition it's all about for the Raider Nation. Even knowing
Yep.
that I'm still learning about for like this organization. I mean, this one it gives me like the opportunity to say this Raider Nation, the whole Raider Nation, is my family right now. Is my
Yep.
family because it's all about for like the group of brotherhood, sisterhood, also this fatherhood. I mean, it always involved like the family because before, during, after the game, we all bleed the civil and black nation because if you grow up in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, because if you see like a great excellence between Al Davis, Jim Plunkett, also there's John Maiden, Charles Woodson, also there's Marcus Allen, between all these players that embodies the whole history because we wanted to teach all for the youngest generation about for like the oldest players, the old school Raiders that really truly a powerful generation from the 70s and the 80s because we just wanted to let about for like the new generation to learn something about for the organization. And I know that
Yep.
as a content creator, I know everything about for like sports, but between for the Raiders, I know everything because I just really embodies between for the nation because it still got the opportunity to learn something new. But of course, as a fan, because I'm not a diehard fan, because as a fan that I was getting like at 3 years, I'm still learning about for the Raiders Nation, and there's nothing can really stop because it really trues to embody to have a great connection with all these Raider fans all around the world, not only for the United States but also from Canada, United
Mm.
Kingdom, Australia,
Yeah.
Mexico. This Raider Nation is everywhere, and
Yep.
do you see like everybody for like the catchphrases right now? There's only 31 teams at the NFL, but there's only one nation,
Yep.
only one motherfucking nation, and
The
that's
true
Raider Nation.
nation, the true nation. And somebody posted earlier that the Steelers are. They admitted it, allegedly that they stole that from us. And yep, we're the one true nation. We are the Raider Nation, and we are everywhere. I mean, there's even a Raider Nation in Germany. There's a Raider Nation everywhere. So, I've been a fan since 1990. I'm from LA. I'm originally from Los Angeles. So, Oakland, you got the LA Coliseum, you got Oakland Coliseum, but we got a Coliseum in LA too. Rocking the Raider hats, just like AP saying, uh, watching it on TV, Art Shell, Hugh Jackson, everybody on there. I was super pumped when we went to the Super Bowl back in '02. I even watched that the Tuck Rule incident in
Oh, we were
2001. Man, yep,
yes.
exactly. So that's how far back I go. I loved it when Jerry Rice came on to the Raiders and eventually retired a Raider, and that's a big statement. A lot of players out there retired as Raiders. Why? Because of our story-filled franchise. It is. We have so much history. John Madden was our coach. Tom Flores, like you said, you got Jim Plunkett. You got other great others that are part of this organization and just embodies really and what really created the Raider Nation. And I mean, I met some guy on Sunday. He's been a Raider fan since like 1960. That's crazy. Like this
Exactly.
guy's been, yeah, this guy's been a Raider fan for a long time. Like almost the whole time that, basically the whole time the Raider organization was established. So, that's pretty awesome. So, I'm glad to be a part of it. I think Tony asked how long I've been doing this. I've been doing this for really content creating for a month, but I love the Raiders so much. I've always posted in my personal account, little bits and pieces here and there, but really going into it and really talking about the Raiders because this is what I love to do. I love to talk Raider football. I love to dissect the games. I love to speculate on things that we're going to do or people that we might acquire in the off season. So for me, this is fun. I love this, man. I don't. I've never really done anything so much that I loved it. Like I love doing podcasts and creating content and showing love for each other. Trust me, don't get me wrong. I like to make fun of them as well too. I have a good sense of humor. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes when shit
Yeah.
hits a fan, and it brings a smile. We're not so mad and so pissed off that we're just like, fuck it, man, that's it. I want to give up. And trust me, and I think really that's what makes you a Raider fan. It's just like going through those hard times and going through those losing seasons and saying, well, fuck it, man, it is what it is. Next year is gonna be another season, and we'll see what happens. You're sticking with them. So I've done that. I've gone through those. I hated it, but still a Raider fan. I never take off my colors for anything. I rock my colors, even if I'm in enemy territory, wherever I'm at. I could be in Dallas. I could be in Denver. I could be in LA. Though it's still technically our territory. I'm always flying my colors, man, for sure.
Yeah, very sure about that. So I just wanted to tell you, thank you guys for joining us for this special episode, this incredible episode with our special guest, J Raider 505. So one last thing before we're wrapping it up right now. So where can we find you on the social media to people can see you around for your content, especially all for the Raiders stuff they would want to love to see about it. So J Raider, where can we find you on the social media?
All right. So on Instagram and X, my handle is jraider underscore 505. That's jraider underscore 505. And then check out my podcast every week. I'm on YouTube as well. It's at Just Raiders Baby Podcast. Again, that's Just Raiders Baby Podcast on YouTube. I'm also on Daily Motion as well. So you can find me there. But yes, I do a podcast every week. So definitely come and check me out, and love to have you on as well, brother.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, I just wanted to tell you about this one. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Capitán Rafucho on YouTube. I'm all way behind to 5K subscribers because right now I'm
Yep.
1K subscribers, but right now the long way is gonna have to do because right now it seems that I had to put a lot of great job, a lot of put in work on content creator on YouTube, but also you can follow me on the social media. Capitán Rafucho on X, formerly Twitter. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Capitán Rafucho93. Also, you can follow me on Rumble, TikTok. I'm on like almost of the Raiders social media that you wanted to see about for like my content, YouTube, and everything. So I just wanted to tell you to everybody else. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode of
Yeah.
Straight Outta Nation, along with a special guest with the one and only J Raider 505. So I just wanted to tell you about this one. Have a
Yep.
great night. Have a great Sunday. And of course, I just wanted to tell you, just like Al Davis say, just win, baby. And of course, one of my catchphrases, and I'm going to use it. Fought the cheese, Raider Nation, bitch. Salute to everybody else. Have a great night.
All
And
right,
we
y'all.
are out of
Peace.
here.